Thing with tacos is like you can eat a lot of them.
That's the problem with it.
Problem. Like, how many tacos could you sit down and eat, like, realistically, if, like, normal dinner for Miro?
I'll probably do about 10,
Oh,
but
shit.
it's got to be the right thing though. You can't put all the bad stuff. You can't put all the sour creams. You can't put all. It's too much. You got to keep it simple. And only one tortilla. You can't double up on the tortilla either. That's a rule.
Yeah, too much tortilla fills you up too quick. You want meat, cheese, one tortilla. Give me 10 of them.
Not even necessarily cheese, because cheese is too much fat. And the American cheese, it's a shit cheese too. So we need like a good cheese. So I'll skip the cheese. I'll do meat. El Pastor, my favorite meat, I would say. And I don't know. And then it's the dealer's choice.
First, let's get the business part out of it. AEW Collision is coming to this little town called Chicago, where we're at right now here. AEW Collision, first ever show. Debuts are like really cool because it's the first time of anything. What can people that are huge AEW fans, or maybe somebody that's new to your product and to what you guys offer, what can they expect with this that's different from anything else?
It's the obvious, the return of the Redeemer, clearly. The Redeemer's been missing out of TV for quite a long time, and I feel people are excited for that, and I'm very thankful for it. And we all love Chicago, man. Chicago, it's a great wrestling town. Not just wrestling town, it's a great town in general. Whether it's baseball, they hate their football, but that's just not my fault. And it's a great, just the people's love there. It's just so obvious. So I love performing in Chicago.
It's gonna
And
be, yeah.
yeah,
You don't have your tickets, don't ask me because I'm not giving mine up. I'm gonna be there, United Center, and that's the house that Michael Jordan built. How cool is that?
also it's very interesting because I've never wrestled there. I've never been to the United Center. Ever,
Oh,
ever, ever. I always wrestled in the All-State Arena. So this is a very first for me. So it's very personal. I feel very like kind of a butterflies, but
yeah.
not really because I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Whether I'm gonna show up and kick somebody's ass or I'm gonna come out there and talk about, my story and what's happening to the Redeemer. It's yet to be found out.
Oof. You give me chills, Miro. When did you become a wrestling fan? What was the moment? Who was it?
6 years old, Hulk Hogan. I
Yeah.
just saw him because my parents they had a one of those videotape stores, like a Blockbuster, if you will, but in a small scale. And as we had a lot of videotapes, and I just happened to see Hulkamania. It was him, and I think it was Slaughter or something like that when he had him like forever in the hold. And I was like, man, I want to be like this guy, like Hogan, not like Slaughter. Even though later on I became the Slaughter, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, man, this was the first time, and ever since then, I knew I was gonna come to America to follow my dreams.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. So it's really cool story because you had to come here because this is where the WWE and AEW and all the wrestling world lives. So what was that journey like? Was it? I mean, talk about the struggles.
Man, I don't know how long is your show, but it's gonna take us more than just one sit down. It was a lot. It was a lot. I didn't even know there was other wrestling. I only thought there was WWE at the time. I didn't even know there's professional wrestling in Europe in general. I was not a big WCW fan, to be honest. So I was always like WWF, right, per se. But what was it like? I was 20 years old. I knew I had to leave my country to follow my dreams. I came in, started working anything from a painter to a taxi driver to a food delivery, two jobs, three jobs at a time. Found a school with Rick Drazen. Later on, moved with Rikishi at Knox Pro, which, Hall of Famer Rikishi, Reno, Anwai, and Gangrel, my trainers, which I own so much too. I had trained with them for 2 years. They sent me for a tryout with WWE, SummerSlam. They liked me, they signed me, and they sent me to developmental in FCW.
And here we are getting ready for Collision.
Here we are, a broken neck, a broken shoulder, and a knee surgery.
Uh,
But here we are. Yeah.
and yeah, it's not for the faint heart what you do. That's for sure. Hey, do you want your legacy to be anything specific? Like at the end of the day, when people are talking about Miro's career,
No, man, I don't care about my legacy in the ring. I care about my legacy as a human being and a human that loves God and puts Jesus first. And because they know I'm so thankful for Him because everything comes from Him and everything He's given me. So I can't put. I don't want to. I'm not a big legacy person. I don't care about any of these stuff. love the ability that God made me to able to connect with the fans, and that's the most important thing for me.
Speaking of connection, I got to know from you. Did you have any unusual situations where people would chant Rusev Day like where they shouldn't have?
Oh man, it used to happen so often, and it's not even you shouldn't have because it's Rusev Day. You can, it's your day to celebrate, and it's been so many occasions, like random things, like in a store, and a grandma will have a Rusev Day shirt, and you're like, "Happy Rusev Day," and all that kind of stuff. So it's never inappropriate to say Happy Rusev Day. It doesn't matter what company you work for.
All right, I need you to give me the stipulation and the opponent for a Miro dream match. So the opponent, obviously past or present, but what is that opponent and who is that opponent and what is that stipulation?
Man, I would love to say either. I would love to, man. Well, it's got to be Hogan, right? It's got to be Hogan since he's my dream. I was on his team as well back in WWE in Saudi Arabia. I was on his team. Even on Raw, I got to pose with him on stage, which was, a dream come true. But probably we'll be facing him or Kurt Angle, who is another American hero, and also my favorite wrestler as well. And it's got to be Tank Rusev, Tank Rusev against an All American, whether it's Kurt Angle or Hulk Hogan or or even in Canada if it's Bret Hart or something like that, another guy that I love. That's what I want. Because I love storytelling. It's not just about it's about the story. That's what drives me the most is a story that gets to the fight and then the fight. Let's just get to it. But that's what I love.
My goodness. I got to think because we just lost an icon, the Iron Sheik. Did you pull some of him into your character as, a heel coming through, the ranks?
I did when I first started in FCW. I wasn't too good, speaking on the microphone, and I was trying to find my niche. I had no idea what to do. And then I started following, start watching some old school Iron Sheik stuff. And he was mean, but also it was very entertaining. And like I said, this our business has got to be somewhat entertaining. And one day I decided, kind of took a promo that he did and changed it into my own words. Went to class in front of Dream, and I performed it. And I remember just building them out, and the train was like, "Whoa, where did that come from? What was that?" And ever since I got stuck to it, and it just worked. And eventually, we moved to a different level because everything is just steps and learning, getting more comfortable. But I think that was a huge, huge, huge stepping stone and just a learning from him to be able to get to the next level.
Yeah. What an icon. And you're following in his footsteps for sure. I need to know from you, you said you're a Hulk Hogan fan, you grew up in that era. Can you do a good Howard Finkel impression?
Howard Finkel impression. I thought you
Yeah.
were going to ask me for Hulk Hogan brother, but I don't know about Howard Finkel
You
impression.
can't do it. Coming down the aisle.
No, that's not me. That's my wife. She does all that good stuff. CJ, she's amazing. She does the introduction. She does the promos. Let me just beat some people up, man, and tell that story. Yeah.
Well, people up in Chicago 1 week from tomorrow. Again, I got to figure out a way to get there, but I will be there. The United Center. It's AEW Collision, the debut.
Yeah.
Uh, and my man is going to be crushing it. Welcome back, Miro. 5 favorites before I let you go. Favorite cheat meal?
I switch them like every week. I don't want to eat the same thing. If I have a cheat day or a cheat meal, it'll go from either pizza one week. Next week will be like a quesadilla. I love quesadillas. I love like a chicken parm sandwich or just anything and everything.
Switch it up. Favorite summertime activity?
Man, being naked outside.
That could be all year. All year long. That could be winter. That could be fall.
Yeah, but I don't want to shrink down in the winter. So
Favorite fan interaction ever?
I would say Madison Square Garden. I was fighting Cena that night. It was very weird because backstage, like this group of like 10 kids or something, they just saw me and they said, Rusev, and they ran to me like I'm their hero, which was, I'm the bad Russian guy, and you're gonna call me, and I had to like pick him up and hug him. It was kind of like really threw me off. And I say, hey, maybe this good guy is not such a bad thing. Maybe I can do that as well.
You can do it all. Favorite boy band?
Man, you know right away. Oh, I was gonna say Backstreet Boys, but I'm not gonna say that. That's too easy. I would say Take That.
Whoa! I love that.
Boom.
Said that.
Gary
Last
Barlow, Robbie Williams, you can't go wrong with that.
amazing, amazing. Back for good. Uh, and then last one. This is on brand for you. Favorite video game as a kid.
Oh, Mortal Kombat, 100%. Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. I was playing all day, every day. And that's what got me actually in love with video games. Like first time I couldn't even see the game because it was tall. Mortal Kombat 1. It looked like, man, it's like a movie. It's like a real thing. And then they was doing all these things. And this is what got me into, yeah.
Miro, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.